Hello, and welcome to episode 20 of the Breaking Yarn podcast. My name is Mikaylee. I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and this is my podcast where I talk about my knitting, my crocheting, and my yarn dyeing. You can find me online at breakingyarn.com or anywhere on social media at Breaking Yarn. Today is Sunday, October 24th, 2021. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I have one full finished object, one project half done or PhD, and 3 whips. I also have a little bit of shop update and a acquisition to share with you. So let's just jump right into it. The first finished object that I have are these socks that I did for PNW Purls. I tested this yarn for her. It's a 75-25 superwash merino nylon wool, and it was a really fun gradient. So it came with these 10 gram minis. So this green into this white was a 10 gram mini. Then it went into this black and white self-striping patterning, and then it came with a 10 gram mini for the heel, and then another 10 gram mini for the toe. And it was a nice little fade into the purple there. And I actually had some really dark purple at the other end, but I didn't get that far on it. I guess I probably, and that's the other thing that I learned with this project is I didn't know how far 10 grams would get me on the foot and toe. So I probably could have even started this gradient up here, and it probably would have been fine. Maybe I would have been playing a little more yarn chicken, but I liked the way that I did it. It worked out well. I did, I guess technically 4 stripes on the leg. Well, technically 5 stripes because this white is a stripe too. You just can't tell because it's fading into the other white. So 5 stripes on the leg. Then I did my heel flap, heel turn and gusset in the black mini. And then I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stripes on the foot. And then it went into my 10 gram mini for the toe. And I knit the size medium. I just followed 9-inch circulars, vanilla socks on 9-inch circulars by Kay of the Crazy Sock Lady. That was the pattern. That was the pattern that I followed for this. And I love how they turned out. I was able to enter these as a finished object for the spooky socks make along that Whitney from Moonglow Yarn Co. is hosting with Kay from the Crazy Sock Lady and Natalie from Nitty Natty. And so I was able to enter these since she said whips were welcomed, and I was working on my second sock when that started. So that's my finished object, and I loved how they turned out. You can get this yarn from PNW Purls, Jess, and I'll link her shop down below in my project page as well. But it's called, oh, I forgot to tell you the name of the colorway is called It's Showtime, which I believe is a Beetlejuice reference, which is why they count as spooky socks for the make-along, because Beetlejuice. Okay. So let me just take a quick sip here. I'm drinking out of my Heisenberg mug. I got this from the Breaking Bad store here in Albuquerque. You can also get it online if you're not here in Albuquerque. I'll link their shop down below as well. I am drinking some vanilla chai, a new one. I'm not sure I like it, but it's okay. So my half object or project half done, PhD, is another sock. These are my Irithusa Falls socks. The pattern is by Lauren of Granite State Yarns. And the yarn I'm using is also by Lauren of Granite State Yarns, and it's called Berry Pickin. But this patterning, it might be hard to see on the sock blocker, but it mimics the Irithusa Falls, I believe in New Hampshire, where she lives. And I just did a simple slip stitch heel flap, heel turn and gusset. And I did semi shorties, so her pattern, you can do it either long or short. And I think for me, I have two pairs of shorty socks, and I like them, but I think they're a little too short for me. So my share pair set that I did, where I split yarn from our stashes with Leah, I knit like semi shorties where they were like a little bit of a leg, but not like as short as a shorty, but not as long as like a long one, like not this long. So I ended up doing 5 repeats of the patterning here, which is about 20 rounds, and I did a 20 round cuff as well, so that's 40 rounds for the leg before I started my heel. And I think this is like as short as I want to go on socks. If I'm going to do shorties, this will be my method here, 40 rounds total from cast on to heel. Yeah, and this sock, it's fun. It has, let me show you off the blocker too. It has a lot of, so I wanted to show you the texture here. It mimics the Arethusa Falls, but it also is kind of like a ribbing, and it's like that on the leg too. Like, so they're pretty stretchy. They look small when they're just like on the table. I was like, is this even like, will this even fit me? But it does, because I tried it on before I even started my toe. But I like that it's like fitted, I guess, like it'll stretch, but then it also is like fitted too, so it can fit a multitude of people. And then I just did my normal rounded toe and Kitchenered the heel, or Kitchenered the toe shut. Yeah, I really love the yarn and how it's knitting up. It's making these like little stripes, micro striping. And on the heel, since you go back and forth in a more concentrated fashion, it did a little more like pooling, which is cool. I liked that too. So yeah, those are fun. I am knitting these for 2 things. One is the spooky season stitch along with Allison and Clark, sorry, Stitchery, it's Stitchery Co. And she's hosting that with 2 other people. One is Lauren from Granite State Yarns, and one is the Teeny Button Studio, I believe. And I'm also, so I will be able to, if I get these done before October 31st, I can enter them to that make along or stitch along. And then if I get the other one done before the 31st, I can also enter it into Lauren's doing a knit along for it called Arethusa Falls Knit Along. And so I'll get to enter 1 pair of socks into 2 make-alongs, which is really fun. And oh, let me show you. So that's the finished one, and this is where I am on the second sock. So I should tuck that in. Here. This is where I am on the second sock. I just have 1 more repeat to do on the leg before I start the heel. So I should be able to get these done in time. I think I have about 7 days. That should be enough time to get like a little more than half of a sock done. I think so. I think so. That's what I'm going to tell myself anyways for motivation and to, you know, kick it into high gear and get these done. But I worked on these quite a bit yesterday, out running errands, and a little bit of evening knitting as well. I will say Lauren. Oh, I don't know. So when I first started this sock, I did not follow your instructions for the ribbing. I'll just say that. And for the second one, I was like, oh, you know, I bet that matters. So I did it on the second one, and I think it does look a lot better. It's like, I don't know. It's hard to tell in this yarn a little bit, but definitely if you're gonna knit the Arethusa Falls socks pattern by Lauren, you should follow the ribbing instructions for your size, because I did not, and I can totally tell like why it's off a little, but that's okay. I learned on the second sock, it does matter. It looks better if you follow the instructions. I didn't think it would, but it does. So, little lesson for you, and for me, to follow instructions fully. I'm a good instruction follower, okay? Like, I am a natural tinker. I know I talked about my like for Tinkerbell because I can relate to her because she's a tinker, I'm a tinker. And it really shines through when I put together an entire king-size bed for Mikaylee and a headboard by myself. It took me a long time, over multiple days, but I did it, and I did it all by myself. So, I'm a natural tinker. I follow directions. I like to follow instructions. I like to build things. It's fun. Okay, moving on. I have 2 whips more to share with you. This one, speaking of Tinkerbell, is in my Tinkerbell bag from Nicole of Stitched Below. I'll link her shop down below as well on Etsy. Maybe you'll find a bag that you like. So I totally missed the deadline to enter this for the cowl as a finished object. That's okay. I've had a lot of things going on in my life. My daughter had surgery again, so that just kind of throws a wrench into everything. But it's okay. She's doing well. She's happy, healthy. But this is the Perfectionist Trap shawl. It's a triangular shape shawl, or just where you like increase on one side. I think it's gonna be kind of triangular. I'm not sure. I think so though. But it's a really simple texture with just garter and some slip stitches. And this is where I was last time I showed it. So I made a bit of progress there. Oops, I just dipped the yarn in my tea. Ah! Okay, let me move that. My bad, that's gross. Okay. And I basically threw my first ball of Heisenberg. So this is a pattern by Kacey Herlihy of Kacey Knits on Instagram. And I am knitting this in Heisenberg in the Swish DK base of my shop. And I still have one more skein to go. So it's 80% black and 20% the green from Walter White. If you know Breaking Bad, you'll know Heisenberg. And maybe you'll know why I did that, or why I dyed it like this, because I think that Walt wasn't completely gone at the end of the show. I think there was still a little bit of Walt left, and in my estimation, probably about 20%. So that's why there is 20% Walter White and 80% is black. What else about this shawl? She was doing a Kacey Knits Shawl 2021 like knit along, and I participated. I did the cast on with everyone on Zoom. I had started with everyone. I was probably not keeping up from the beginning. Just too many whips and too many things going on, like I was saying. But I do enjoy this pattern, and I enjoy the simplicity of it and the easiness of it. Like I can literally set this down in the middle of a row, pick it up, and know exactly where I am. Like it's so easy to memorize and just to pick up and go, and I love that. I needed that at the moment. So that's perfect. I will continue to work on this and get it finished. There's no huge rush for me now that I missed the deadline for the knit along, but that won't stop me from getting it done eventually. Slowly, but that's okay. Sometimes you just need to slow down a little bit, and it's okay to do that, you know? Knitting is our hobby, and if it is like it is for you, it is for me, it's a time to relax, it's a time to unwind, it's a time to just knit some stitches and kind of decompress a little bit, let go of your thoughts from the day, etc., whatever it is for you. That's what it is for me too. And I enjoy knit-alongs. I just recently really have been participating in them more, and they're good for motivation. Like you're like, oh, I should work on that sock specifically because it's for this knit along, whatever, and kind of deadline out your projects a little bit. But at the end of the day, like if you don't make deadlines for knit alongs, it really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of life. So there, that's that. Okay, moving on. My last whip is also in a bag by Nicole of Stitched Below. When I found her shop, I just thought they were so adorable, and I loved that they all came with handles because I like to knit and walk. Not as much recently, but I need to get back into it. And this is a project I am doing. I'm doing a test knit for Gabz and Che of Slip Slip Sis. And this is the Steekling sweater. And it's a top-down raglan, one piece. I'll go back and add the arms later. So I split for sleeves, and then I think I might be close to being done with the body, and I just need to measure it and then add ribbing. So that's where I am right now. I should have measured it, but it's okay. I'll figure that out where I am. But I am knitting this for my daughter, and it's going to be for her birthday. So this is the 2 to 4 size, and this is a good practice for steeking. Gabz had designed this so that you could learn how to steek, but on a smaller project, so it's not as scary for like a full-on adult size sweater. So I think that's just genius, and I was wanting to make my daughter a sweater for her birthday anyways, so this is just perfect timing to join in on this test knit, and pretty flexible deadline. I think it needs to be done by November 19th, which my daughter's birthday is a little bit before that. So I will need to have it done by her birthday, which I think is totally doable. I'm almost done with the body. Minus like steeking, which I think I'll do live on Instagram, because why not? That sounds fun, and it seems like it's a thing that not a lot of people have done or seen. So, and I've never done it. So that might be an interesting experience to do that live on Instagram. Let's see, the yarn I'm using is Swish DK from my shop in the colorway Marie Schrader. And I'm using a yarn cozy from Danielle of, Midwest Stitches. I'll link her shop down below as well. This was an acquisition from last time. I really wanted to get a cozy so I could try center pull again, and it's working out pretty well so far. I don't want to like jinx myself, but I haven't had any issues. So yeah, this is the Steekling sweater. by Gabz and Shay of Slip Slip Sis. And I'm so excited to finish this and put my daughter in it. Yeah, so we'll see how that goes, but I should be close on that. Yeah, and trying to think if there's anything else to say on that, but I don't think so. It's a test knit. I'll make a project page and put that down below as well. So for acquisitions, I have 2 things that I got. These are from Purl Passion, Megan of Purl Passion. She is getting into yarn dyeing, and so we did a little trade. She's in Canada, so it traveled a little ways to get here, but I got 2 skeins from her. This one is Sweatsuit with Ears. And then this one is Floral Onesie. I really like this one a lot. All the darker colors. And she dyed these because she was inspired by her daughter's wardrobe, and her daughter, I think, is 4 by months. So it's really colorful, and obviously it has ears on things. So that's really fun. These are 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, and a fingering, 436 yards for 100 grams. So yeah, I got those from Megan, Purl Passion. I'm not sure if her store is opened yet, but you could follow her on Instagram, and she also has a podcast here on YouTube. So if you want to check her out, I'll link that down below as well, so you can give her a follow and see when she will be opening her store officially. So a little bit of shop news. I did a small restock of the sock DK base. That is a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, but it's on a DK. Did I say DK? Yeah, a sock DK base. And so it's good for DK weight socks. I know Kay had come out with a free pattern on Ravelry. It's vanilla DK socks. And so this yarn is perfect for that pattern if you want to knit some thicker socks to wear around the house, or maybe they'll fit in your shoes. I'm not sure. I haven't tried them, but I'm thinking I will try some. But the colors I have so far, I have some pink teddy bear that I need to add speckles to. And I haven't done that yet, but I did Breaking Black, Breaking Delphinium, Marie Schrader, Jane Margolis. Then I have a few Walter White, Hank Schrader, and Breaking Princess, and Breaking Violet. Did I mention that one? I'm not sure. But so those are a few of the colorways that I have dyed up right now. I do have some more bear yarn. I only dyed up so far what I got feedback on. So if you want to let me know down in the comments maybe what colorways you'd be interested in seeing in the sock DK from my shop, and I can dye that up for you. And if you want something that like I probably wouldn't dye on, like I probably wouldn't dye Doghouse. Maybe I would dye Doghouse. I'll have to think about that. But if you want to make sure that you get a Jessie Pinkman or something like that, you can comment down below or shoot me an email, breakingyarn@gmail.com, and I'll be sure to get that for you. The other last thing I want to mention is that Sandy, from 2 episodes ago when I announced that she won a project bag from the giveaway, has not contacted me yet. So if you see this, Sandy, please email me breakingyarn@gmail.com to claim your prize. If I don't hear from Sandy by the time I record my next episode, which is in 2 weeks, I'm gonna pull a new winner. So if you know Sandy, or if you want to give her a little nudge, you can have her contact me, breakingyarn@gmail.com again, or I'll pick a new winner. So that's just where that is. I just wanted to update you on that, and yeah, that's about it. Thank you so much for joining me today on episode 20 of the Breaking Yarn podcast. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.